Good morning.
Good morning, Louis.
Thank you for the warm welcoming. Okay, let's take our seats. We will start our class.
This was the most messed up chapter I have read yet.
Okay, so we will start with our prayer requests. Let me go this side now. Get requests here. Okay, I'll go here in the middle. Okay, I'll go here in my right.
Keep Charleston and Slade and Julie in your prayers. They'll be coming home before too long. They're having a good time in Greece right now.
Okay, we need to keep our prayers for the Moors, specifically Mr. Slade and Miss Julie and Miss Charleston. They are in their trip, having good time in Greece. Greece, you said, right? Thank you.
Remember also, continue to remember Bert in our prayers.
Okay, Mr. Bert also in our prayers, as Mr. Andy said. Okay,
Our country.
and prayers for our country. You are totally right. Then, okay, to start this class, I will ask Mr. Bob, could you pray to start this class?
Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for the many things you've given us. Most of all, for the Son, Father, I thank you for this class. Everyone here have a chance to study more of your word. Father, I ask you to be with those sick, those that have tests, procedures done, especially those mentioned this morning, and those on the sick list and prayer list. Ask you to heal them, comfort them. Father, ask you to forgive us of our sins. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay. We are in chapter 9. We're going to start chapter 9 in the book of Revelation. And this tapestry that we see there is part of chapter 9 and also chapter 10. If you visit medieval paintings, you will find a lot of creations based on the book of Revelation that are beautiful. And I am using a couple of it for this class, and I will use it through the next parts of the book of Revelation. Then for the chapter 9, I will give you the chapter structure that we have for chapter 9. Can you hear me? Can you hear me right? Okay. Then last chapter we saw trumpets in chapter 8. And he's using again another pause because we were gonna see another trumpets. In chapter 9, we will see the fifth trumpet. We will see the stars falling from heaven, the opening of the shaft of the abyss, and tormenting demonic locust. That's what we will see in verses 1 to 12 in chapter 9. In the last part of the chapter 9, verses 13 to 21, we have another different thing. So we will see very interesting images, very, I think, impactful, and we can talk about that. Just as a friendly reminder for all of us here. And the book of Revelation should not be read as a literal report of the modern future, but rather as apocalyptic. And remember, apocalyptic means revealing literature. This genre employs extreme symbolism. That's why we see numbers charged with a lot of meaning. We see cosmic vision. We see beasts, and we will see a couple of beasts now, beasts. We see angels. We have political criticism, and this is very important in the book of Revelation. The author, John, within the context of the Roman Empire, imperial pressures, he's writing under the imperial pressure. So that's why, as always we said, he's encrypting the message or encrypting the code. But before to start with the chapter 9, we need to go for the final verse of chapter 8. Because this verse is the opening of the chapter 9. Yes, my beautiful reader.
As I watched, I heard an eagle that was flying in midair call out in a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the trumpet blast about to be sounded by the other three angels."
Okay, this is interesting here. As I watched, I heard what? What is an eagle? Then what is the meaning of that? Why?
Rome,
What?
Rome.
Brother, too early for points, but you got 10. Okay. He's listening, or he's hearing an eagle that is flying, and the eagle is crying something, and they say, "Does ho?" And he said, "To the inhabitants of the earth, because of the trumpets blast about to be sounded by the other three angels." So remember, last chapter we saw trumpets. Now we have a pause in verse 13, and the pause that we have it's because, if you remember, the first trumpets is the destruction of the whole world. I mean, the whole world of Rome. We saw the economy. We see the agriculture. We saw the commerce of Rome. But now we have a pause with the eagle, and now the eagle says, "Oh, there's more." I mean, this is not the end. We will have more destruction in Rome. And what kind of destruction are we looking at? First, the symbol of the eagle. Just my friend here said, the Roman legions marched under the imperial eagle. It means the eagle was the symbol of Rome. Now, John is using the same symbol to announce the destruction of Rome. This is a very powerful symbol here. John and all the apocalyptics and the Bible, the whole Bible do this to resignify that symbol. What Rome calls military glory, John turns him into a herald of judgment. This is important for the book of Revelation. You can see it in movies. I mean, we are not supposed to trust in movies. Hollywood is very creative and stuff like that. But if you see movies about the Roman Empire, you will see that they have a band, and this band is an eagle. The eagle means Rome is coming. So what John is doing now is appropriating imperial symbols and reversing them. They used to have the eagle as a symbol of glory. Now John is using the same symbol to tell them you're going to be destroyed. That's why we see the eagle is coming. I mean, the past glory of Rome now is their destruction. They are under judgment. We start with the economy, we start with the agriculture, we start with all the businesses, but now we will go for the heart of Rome. Next, trumpets.
The fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like the smoke from a gigantic furnace. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss.
Okay. This is interesting here. The fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and do you Remember, what is the meaning of the trumpet? Judgment is coming. It means what we are reading now is a judgment, the judgment of the Roman Empire and all the evil, of course. And I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star may represent, as I always tell you, could be a fallen angel, a heavenly messenger with a judicial authority, a demonic figure subordinated to God. That's what could represent here. But when we are talking about the star, we always talk about a government, a political power. We are talking about kings. Remember, in the book of Revelation, Rome is represented with a sun, and all their kingdoms, little kingdoms, because I will tell you again, in case you weren't here or in case you forgot days. The Roman Empire, they have the Caesar, the emperor, in Rome, the capital. But they have little kingdoms everywhere. That's why, they are not just one Caesar all over the empire. They have little kings that rules in all their territories. Remember, the Pax Romana, or the Roman peace, they come and they say to those kings, you have two options: I kill you or you serve Rome. And the king says, okay, I prefer to serve Rome. That's why Rome now, this king, he used to be an independent king, but now he's a servant of the emperor. Rome, the emperor, the big sun, the little kingdoms, the stars. Little kings, and that's what we have here is a star that is falling. And now we have the abyss, or abyssos in Greek, was understood as a prison of chaotic and demonic powers. So, as you can read here, the star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. When it opens, smoke comes out that darkens the sun. Pay attention to the symbol. Always saw what is the meaning of the sun? Okay. When this is happening, the star is falling, the little kings, the political powers are coming down. They are being destroyed by all the judgment that is happening. The smoke, because if they are burning, the smoke comes out that darkens the sun. When the emperors start to lose all their little kingdoms, it's darkening his power. It means they are losing all his power because he is losing all his territories. Spiritual chaos emerges and the created order is reversed. That's what is happening now. What the verse 1 of the chapter 9 is telling us is the judgment began, and they're not going to cut the head of the emperor as far as, that fast. No, it's a progressive destruction. Let me tell you, the Roman Empire fell in 476 is the date of the falling of Rome. The full, it's a progress that we can discuss all the things that happened, but this is the beginning of the destruction of Rome. So, we can see also in this in Luke chapter 8 and the first of Enoch. And the first of Enoch, maybe you say, oh, this is not in my Bible. No, this is a extra-biblical document. It's a historical document telling us about the meaning of the abyss here as a prison for demons. And what is the interesting thing here? How was Rome destroyed? Two things. Let me say two things in a big picture. If we detail it, we have more than two things. Number one, we have moral destruction. They were moral compromised. Let me say it in this way. That's number one. Number two, little kingdoms from outside of their territories, they thought like they are not invincible. We can fight with them. And the thing is, when you are that big, you cannot control all your territories. It's too big. Then if you are protecting this side here, maybe what is happening right there, you cannot control it. Or maybe you can send an army to fix it, but when that army arrives to that place, it's going to be destroyed. So you are protecting this side here, but then you try to protect here, you lose that place here, and that's what happened with Rome. They start to cover all the things they cannot protect. And all the little kingdoms around, they start to think like, oh, we can fight with them. So we have these riots of little kingdoms, that's number one, the moral situation of Rome, and as they are putting all their effort trying to make war, they are investing money in war. So all the people living in Rome, they start to be very poor. So if you have a lot of people that they are looking that the emperor and their generals are expending all the money of the people in the war, they start to be unhappy with the emperor and say, you are supposed to use the money for dead people, but you are investing the money in war, to make war, to have more territories, or to protect your name, your prestige in territories. So now we are poor and we are not protecting anything. And the people start to be like unhappy with Rome. The emperor loses his all what he represents. The people start to see the emperor as a fallen king. So you have unhappy people because they are getting more poor and poor and poor. Number one. Number two, the emperor investing money in war and not in the people that he's supposed to lead. Number three, we have the moral destruction of the Roman Empire. And number four, we have all the little kingdoms around saying like they are not invincible. We can make the war with them. So it's a perfect formula to destroy a whole empire. Yes, Ms. Arlene?
Are you sure you're not describing the United States?
Well, I was about to say the same thing, but I was
Well,
History does repeat itself.
I'm not putting names on it. I mean, and this is one of the beautiful things of the Bible. When you study it in his historical context, now you can see more than Rome. You say, and I can tell you, I can see the same about, I don't know, my country. And John, the writer of the book of Revelation, is doing this on purpose. What he wants, and this is the inspiration of the Bible, what God wants from us is when we read the book of Revelation is to understand that this is a mirror, what is happening here, for all of us. We can put, as you said, I'm not mentioning it. You did it.
I'll second it.
Oh, you also, not me.
Kingdoms, all the states.
Just for the record.
All the little kingdoms, which all the states, and trying to control all these states, and it's just kind of really going on what you're saying. So.
You can say that about the British Empire also happened the same with them. The Spanish Empire, the same. And what the book of Revelation is trying to tell us is this is the order of all the empires in the history. I mean, all the empires will fall. Why? Because they try to be a substitution of God. And when you try to be the substitution of God, then you're gonna fall. Absolutely. If you go back a little bit back in the Old Testament, if you read the book of Daniel, you will see Daniel saw the same with the with Babylon. Babylon, and you say, I'm not going to pronounce this name because in English I'm working with in, okay? The Babylon Emperor, Nebuchadnezzar. In Spanish, it's Nabucodonosor.
Oh, wow. That would take me a while to learn, too.
It will take time. Give me time. Give me like 2 years more to learn it in English. So, remember, he proclaimed to be God. And what happened with him? God made him into an animal to eat grass. And after that, when he recovers the sense, he said, oh my goodness, what I have been doing. But also Daniel said, your empire will fall. And if you read the book of Daniel, chapter 2, you will see this statue that he's looking in a dream. All the parts of the statues are empires. And empires that claimed to be God. And Daniel says, all of them will fall. None of the empires in history will stand as they claim to be God, or claim to be the hand of God, or claim to be the image of God in earth. God says, there's no image for me. My only image is my Son, Jesus Christ. And if you try to be God, you will fall. And this is what the chapter 9, but the whole book of Revelation is trying to tell us. The fall of all empires that try to be God. And also, this is interesting here because if you read and if you remember chapter 5, it's telling us that there's only one who is worthy to rule the world, and he's the Lamb, Jesus Christ. They tried to rule the world, but all what they found was destruction and chaos. So, verse 2, my dear.
Dear. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like the smoke from a gigantic furnace. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss.
Okay, so what we have here, we already read that. Is the same image here. Read, please, verse 3. Please, look how beautiful are all the images. The paintings and tapestries are beautiful. Go for it, sir.
And out of the smoke, locusts.
Wait. This is beautiful, okay? Put attention on that. Go for it, sir.
And out of the smoke, locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads.
Okay, now this is interesting because what you can read, if we go back to the verse 2, you will find two details here. Remember chapter 5. The Lamb is worthy to open the seals, to read the scroll, to control the whole universe. And look at this here. The star was given. The stars here, they don't have the power. They received the power. From who? The one who is controlling all what is happening. But also, as you can read here, is verse 4. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth. They do not have the whole power, complete power. They are under the control of the Lamb. So all what is happening in this world, in this universe, is under the control of the worthy Lamb, Jesus Christ. If you read this and you are a church under persecution, then your heart have peace because you said, oh, my God is under control. I don't need to be worried. It's normal to be worried because it's a human emotion, but now you have hope because you say, my King is under the control of all what is happening around the universe. Maybe I'm suffering right now, but I know He's under control. And what is the meaning of this here? We have here out of the smoke, I mean, because all destruction, we have this here, locusts that are coming. And just as a friendly thing, I was teaching about John the Baptist in my youth group class. And just to have the full experience of John the Baptist, we ate locusts, I mean, real locusts, grasshoppers, worms, and it tastes good. I can tell you, most of them say no, but we ate it just as John the Baptist. Remember, John the Baptist was in the wilderness eating these kind of things, and when I was teaching about it, I let them try, and it was good. If you want, we can do the same here, but we need to eat crickets, grasshoppers, silkworms. It tastes good. It tastes good. It's salty. It tastes like peanut. The only difference is the texture. Talia, it's good, right? Yeah, she said yes, it's good. I can tell you.
I've had a lot of my Spanish friends tell me, "Oh, brother, you never ate grasshoppers," and I'm just looking, I'm crazy, but I want to try them.
It tastes very good. I have in my office, so I.
In your office?
Yeah, I mean they are not alive.
Oh, I need
It's fried with salt. It tastes very good. But this is another topic for the John the Baptist class, okay? For now, we have here this. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, something happened with the slideshow because the explanation is not here, but I will tell you here what is happening here. In the verse 3, the locusts are images or armies. You can see it in the book of Joel and the book of Ezekiel, how God used this image to say that,
the size of the army.
what?
The size of the army.
They are armies.
Swarm of locusts.
Correct. Remember, in the land of Israel and Asia Minor, that is the location of the book of Revelation, in every single season, we have the season of locusts. When they come like a full bunch of locusts and destroy all the grass and destroy all the fields and stuff like that. That's why in the ancient world, and also the world of the book of Revelation, the locusts represent foreign armies coming to destroy all the things. Yes, sir?
Very comparable to love bug season in Florida.
To what? To what?
Love bug season.
Love bugs is the
Yeah, the little ones with the red heads. And
yeah, red and okay.
they're starting this week, by the way.
Really?
It'll be here next week.
Okay.
No, I get it.
So, as we have love bugs here in Florida,
And mayflies.
in the Mediterranean, they have locusts, and they represent destroying armies that they are coming to make the war with us. Miss Aaron, you have something?
Locusts are fallen angels because they come from the bottomless pit, which means the domain of Satan and their king over them. It is called Apollyon, which is a death angel and not Satan. Just saying it's good.
Okay, it's interesting, and I see they have more. How can I say this? They have more a vision on literal meaning of it. I don't say that is wrong, but it's okay to have these notes here to contrast all the things that we are reading and talking here, which is good. Okay, Then, as I told you, if you put Rome in a map, you will see that they had a lot of armies, foreign armies, armies from other countries, from other little kingdoms, not under their ruling, that came to make the war with them. And they start to be afraid of these kind of little kingdoms because they were wild. They call it wild men or pagans. Then what we can see here is the destruction of Rome in a progressive way. First the moral, next the little kingdoms, then the foreign kingdoms that you have here. And they are destroying here, but they were told not to harm the grass of the earth, of any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. So it's interesting here, the foreign armies are just destroying followers of the empire, but they are not touching the people from the church. I mean, they are not touching God's people that God are saving. Take your minds back, 1st century, a church under persecution, reading this, and you read that your God is telling you that a lot of armies will come to make the war, but those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads are the ones that are being destroyed. If you are part of the church and you have the seal of God, it means you are a child of God, and we talk about the seal, that means that you are property of God. How do you feel reading this? That you say, oh, war is coming, we are not touched by the power of the war. We're not touched because of the evil. We are protected. And what you can see in history is how the church was protected during wartime in the Roman Empire. So God is protecting his people. Empires are coming down, but God is protecting their people. The call to action here is to evaluate if we are God's people. Because if you are not, maybe you will be destroyed with the empire. Then think about it and think about, where are you putting your loyalty? The empire or the Lamb? You cannot serve both. You need to take a choice. You serve the Lamb, Jesus Christ, or you serve the empire. Because if you serve the empire, maybe you are not in the protected list of God. You're going to be destroyed with them. Also, this is a call to action for us to think our loyalty. Where are we putting our loyalty? If we have the seal of God in our foreheads, remember, what the seal is telling us, that your thoughts, your minds are property of God. That's the meaning of the seal in the forehead. It means all what you think, all what you do, all what you represent goes for the glory of God.
Do you want me to go at the beginning again, or?
No, this is the first. The whole.
Okay. And out of the smoke, locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. They were not allowed to kill them, but only to torture them for 5 months. And the agony they suffered was like that of the sting of a scorpion when it strikes. During those days, people will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will elude them. The locusts looked like horses prepared for battle. On their heads they wore something like crowns of gold, and their faces resembled human faces. Their hair was like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. They had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the thundering of many horses and chariots rushing into battle. They had tails with stingers like scorpions, and in their tails they had power to torment people for 5 months.
Okay. Let me go a little bit back. Verse 5. They are not allowed to kill people with the seal of God. I mean, they are not allowed to kill Christians, but Christians are living in the Roman Empire, so will they suffer a little bit the consequences. For example, in the Roman Empire, one of the kind of war that the foreign kingdoms made with Rome was to destroy ships in the sea, in the oceans. Remember, this is about commerce. You are transporting any kind of things, spices and any kind of things that you need for your kingdom. If they destroy the ships in the sea, or they make a block in the sea, it's gonna harm your economy. If you catch it. Yes, sir.
Back when the Romans were terrorizing the Christians, there was one army that they're describing right there. I don't know if it's what they're describing, and that's Genghis Khan and the Mongols. They were like locusts. They were the Romans feared them, you know.
We will talk about that in next chapters,
Okay.
because Rome is gonna. The Book of Revelation is gonna mention
Romans literally feared them, you know.
the Parthians also. That in
Persia was their greatest ally, or was their greatest enemy, Rome.
one of the greatest enemy. Well, we're gonna read in because in the Book of Revelation they're gonna mention specific emperors, but they are in the same chapter that they are mentioning emperors. The Book of Revelation also mentions all the armies that they were afraid about.
So if you look at they rode the horses, they had the breastplates, they're the way they're describing Genghis Khan and his men.
That's right. And if you go to the chapter, it's chapter 2 on the Book of Revelation. The first horseman says that he has a bow and arrow, and it was the weapons of the Parthians.
Right.
So when they read this kind of symbols, they are afraid about what is
They
happening.
didn't persecute the Christians.
That's correct, because they were interested in Rome, to make Rome fall, not to harm Christians. But Christians will suffer because if they are harming the economy, of course you will suffer because of the economy, because you are living in that empire. But what the Bible is telling us, that they are not being killed, Christians, no. But it says that they will be harmed for 5 months. The 5 months it's a incomplete number. It means not forever. It means just a small time. It's not eternal. This is the meaning of this here. And then what we have here, verses 7 to 10, is the kind of war that these kind of armies are making with Rome. They are destroying Rome in parts. In not just one army, it's a bunch of armies Rome is fighting for. Yes.
I've always looked at, whenever you look at all the prophecies from Isaiah and all that talking about Jesus, it was written several way back when.
That's right.
But people didn't quite. I kind of can't help but to think it's kind of like the same thing when you think of, he was talking about Genghis Khan or whatever, but then you think about Pompeii. Pompeii happened what, I think I just looked it up, it said 79 years after Christ. And I'm sure them people thought that was the end of the world. So, like you said, I think it kind of goes in spurts throughout the whole world, as far as doing all of this, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like she said, are you sure you're not describing the United States? Absolutely, I believe it was describing the United States and many other countries.
You said it, not me. Just for the record. Because they are recording this then.
They're listening.
No, I'm kidding. But not kidding. Then, okay. Then we have here in this three things here of the meaning of locusts and armies. Number one, symbolic military invasion. Here we have a parody of Roman or Persian armies. The Persians were a bunch of people around Rome. They were enemies of Rome. Rome never could catch them. They were free, and they start to make war with Rome. Rome was afraid about these kind of people. So what we have here in the Locust could be also a parody of the Roman war against the Persians, but also psychological and spiritual torment. They do not kill, but torment for 5 months. They suggest social anxiety, oppression, and moral suffering. And also limited judgment. They do not totally destroy. Judgment still seeks to arouse repentance.
They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek is Apollyon, that is, destroyer.
Okay, so what we have here, we have two words, Abaddon and Apollyon, Abaddon or Apollyon, kings of the Locusts. Hebrew, Abaddon means destruction. Greek, Apollyon means destroyer. Why John is using these two names or the same name in two languages? He's trying to say this is for all languages. I mean, you all need to understand this, that the king of the Locusts is a destroyer. They are here to destroy. They're going to make Rome fall. And it's a possible ironic play against imperial or divine names of the Greco-Roman world. Because the emperor in war, they used to call himself as a destroyer of the other kingdoms. So now John is using the same name to tell the Roman Empire, they are coming for you. They will destroy you. This empire will fall. That's what we have here.
It's kind of ironic that Julie and Slate are over there right now observing all these ruins of Rome and of Greece. In fact, they're sending me pictures right now while the phone's sticking. But they're right now seeing what you're talking about in the later years.
No, it's interesting here. You can see to those places, see all the ruins, how these foreign kingdoms, they destroyed all the empire. And also, remember, it was a external destruction because of all the empires kingdoms coming from outside to destroy Rome, but also was an internal destruction because of the morality of Rome. Destruction from in and out to in. So it was a complete destruction.
The first woe is past. 2 other woes are yet to come. The 6th angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the 4 horns of the golden altar that is before God. It is said to the 6th angel who had the trumpet, "Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates." And the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill 1/3 of mankind. The number of the mounted troops was twice 10,000 times 10,000. I heard their number.
Okay, this is interesting here. The 6th angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the 4 horns of the what?
Golden altar.
Do you remember chapter 5? One of the seals is the souls of the martyrs crying out from the altar. Now we have the answer of God from the 4 horns of the altar. What is the, remember, if you have been reading the book of Exodus, the book of Leviticus, you will see that the altar which was like a square with horns in every corner. It means, it's where the blood of the lamb is put, and it means a sacrifice for the forgiveness of the martyrs, for the people. Now we have is, as they live as a living sacrifice, they were martyrs, they were sacrificed. We can read in the chapter 5 that all these kind of people are claiming to God, we need to receive justice because of our death. And now we have the 6 angels under his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the 4 horns of the golden altar that is before who? God. I mean, the same image. Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river. What river?
Euphrates.
This is interesting here. I have just 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. Let me go. Let me finish in 3 minutes. Okay. Okay. The altar speaks. Its voice comes from the horns of the altar. This connects Revelation chapter 6 and 5, where the martyrs cried out for justice. Now the answer comes. 4 angels on the, how can I pronounce it?
Euphrates.
Euphrates. Okay, it's in Spanish. To teach Spanish, it's Euphrates.
Ours sounds better.
I know. This river marked the eastern border of the Roman Empire. From there came memories of threat for Rome, Persian and Eastern invasions. So Persians and all the people that Roman was afraid of, there came by the border with this river. So when we read this here, release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river, so they understand what they are reading. Rome knows what it means. This river comes all the threat that are coming to us to destroy us, because all the riots that and attacks of Rome came from this side, from this border. It was a big river. Rome could not protect this side of their boundaries, so they start to receive invasions. For the first century listeners, mentioning this river evoked geopolitical fear, more destruction for Rome.
The horses and riders I saw in my vision looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as sulfur. The heads of the horses resembled the heads of lions, and out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and sulfur. A third of mankind was killed by the 3 plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of their mouths. The power of the horses was in their mouths and in their tails, for their tails were like snakes, having heads with which they inflict injury. The rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of the work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, idols that cannot see or hear or walk. Nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immorality, or their thefts.
Okay, so keep in your mind this. We're gonna finish now. I don't have more time, and for the next class, we will see all this section here in chapter 10. So you are all dismissed.
Here's some guys in black suits out there wanting to talk to you.
Tell it. I got my video that you all do.
I'm gonna stay right here.
I will tell them I'm not alone. They all tell them.
I'll stand with you, brother.
You're preaching this morning?
Yes, sir.
You also have the table? Or you want us to get somebody to do the table?
Yeah.
Get somebody to do it?
Yeah.
Did you have anybody lined up?
No, but
I just want to check the quiet.
it will be. I don't know. Is it Paul France or you?
Yeah, we'll get it taken care of. I just
Okay.
want to make sure you did.
Okay. Thank you.
He let you preach because he's